In this video I'm going to be showing you how you can farm a ton of crowns in Fall Guys within just a few hours using the new Hex-a-4041 Trials game mode. At the time of recording this has 3 days and 18 hours left, which means it ends on the morning of September 10th, so if you're watching before then, this is for you, or if you're watching when the show is available another time since it will be available in future. But yeah, let's get right into the guide. So you're probably wondering, how can you farm crowns using a game mode? Well, you might be aware already that you can time out finals by waiting 5 minutes. Usually this happens in Jump Showdown since that's the easiest to time out. But since this game mode is low gravity hexagon and it has only 10 players in the final, it means as long as you're all jumping and nobody's running across the tiles, then you're going to time out and all 10 of you are going to get the crown. So now you might be thinking, well, why does this need an entire video about it? Well, there are a few things you need to know in order to do this properly, and the main part is the server region that you're playing on. So to adjust this you need to be on your Fall Guys menu, and then you need to go to your settings tab and then go to options, and then you'll see right here, you'll see server region. Now it's probably on automatic at the moment, except for timing out this is not what you want. There are different server regions that work at different times and for different people and stuff like that, but the main one that works for me would be Australian servers. So if you press this and press the save button, then you go back. Now you are successfully connected to Australian servers. I've heard other people also having success with the India and Middle East servers, however, Australian servers will probably give the best results. Now, another method to choosing server region would be to do stream snipe games with a Fall Guys live streamer who is streaming Hex-a-4041 snipes. The best way to find these would be to go onto twitch.tv and then you search Fall Guys and then look for someone in the title who has Hex-a-4041 Timeout or something similar, and then they should have instructions on their screen on how to join their game, and you can follow those instead. But generally, it's going to be easier to just go server region and press Australia. Okay, so now that we have selected the server region, make sure in the show select you have Hex-a-4041 Trials and nothing else selected, and then you will press play and queue into a game. And you see we found a match very quickly there, however it might take a bit longer just because Australian servers don't normally have a lot of people on it. You might need to wait a minute or two, depending on what time of day it is, but you should always find a game, because you only need 20 people. So now that we're in here, you can see this is pretty crowded. There's absolutely no way you're going to time this out, okay? And also what you'll most likely notice, unless you are in Australia, you'll notice in the bottom right you have a Wi-Fi symbol. You really don't have to worry about that one bit, because the ping does not matter just for low gravity hexagon. You really aren't going to be affected by it. The only thing is that on other people's screen you're going to be floating a lot, but that doesn't matter because you won't notice anything yourself, and you're not going to get banned because, like, it's not you cheating, you're not cheating. It's literally just your internet connection not being able to handle going all the way to Australia. Again, as you see there, I messed up quite a bit, but we're still going to be fine. These first 2 rounds don't really matter a lot as long as you just survive. You can try running across the towers if you want, but what I'd recommend is still to try and jump, because then you get practice in for the final, because the final is when you definitely need to practice this jumping strategy. There's no way you can time out by just running across the tiles like what I'm going to do now. You see, you won't win by doing that. You have to be jumping between the towers, like land on one, then jump, and then get onto another. That's how you handle these timeouts. Now, so if you're falling from a high distance like I just did, you need to prepare the dive button so that you can dive onto some tiles, or else you're going to have a bad time. As you see there, we qualified and that only took 90 or so seconds for me. And then we go into the next round. Okay, now this next round you're going to play very similar to the first one. Except one difference here is that there's 15 players instead of 20, so that means you do have a chance. If every single person in the lobby is good enough, then you could theoretically time out this round as well. But don't get your hopes up, just try and play normally again. Do whichever strategy you prefer, whether running's easier for you or jumping between towers for practice is easier. You do you. Just make sure you qualify on this round, and then we'll get on to the exciting part, which is the final. Okay, see, I messed up there, but it was only one floor. We really don't have to worry, because other players will fall down soon. You see, we're definitely not going to time this one out because the tiles are degrading really quickly, but it depends on what lobby you have. If you're still on one of the top floors, then you do have a chance of timing this round out. But again, if you don't worry, all that matters is that you qualify here. You don't need to time out and let other people win, there's no reward to doing that. Oh, come on. Okay, so you see that is an example of what not to do. Let's get back into another round so that I can get to the final and show you how to play. Also, another note I'd like to add about the death that I just had. It's a reminder that the game's physics are really weird on rounds like Hexagon, so I would recommend not diving. You should only dive if you know what you're doing, because if you mess up your dive, then you are going to ragdoll, and that might end up getting you eliminated if you're unlucky. I'll show you a clip right now of what's happened to me before. Abandoned my teammate here. And I guess that actually looked out for— What? Okay, there we go. That is win on round 2. Now let's get on to the final round. Okay, now this final right here is when things get serious. This is where you do need to time out so that you can all share the win. This is where the 3 wins come in. Because 10 people get a win every round and 20 people load into each round. That's half the people in the lobby getting crowns. So you need to participate in this. You need to preserve the towers for as long as possible. Just do the jumping strat, and you'll not take up many tiles. There are more advanced strats such as dive stalling, so if you know how to do that, then you can do that, but as I've discussed before, diving is very risky. You can alternatively try and share towers with someone else by standing on the same ones, like what I'm doing with this person right now. However, most people don't want to cooperate, so you might have a hard time doing this. And also some people move really unpredictably, but you can manage it. But generally, the best strategy is literally just stand on a tile, then jump, then find another tile, then jump. Like, that's the most basic strat, the most simple thing you can do. Generally, if you want to do the tile sharing strat, then you would be better off going next to golden skins, since they generally understand more. So you see what I did there, I purposefully went for that golden wolf so that we could share the tiles. And another strategy is so that other people can't waste tiles. You can stand it in the middle of tiles so that they're like— you see right here, we've got 4 tiles that you have to jump in between them. There's no way to run onto multiple of these tiles. That's what you need to try and get it to. You need to make it so that other people have to jump, they can't take up multiple tiles. Of course, this again is an optional thing, but it does help. Okay, and I don't have a timer on screen for you guys to see, but I know that I'm 3 minutes in now, so we just need to survive Hexagon for 2 more minutes, and then we get a crown along with the 9 other people who are surviving. See, it's not too difficult. Just take some patience. And you can see now we're sharing tiles, except that person didn't want to, I guess. Okay, final 3 layers now. But remember, the bottom layer is bigger than all the other layers, so you don't have to worry as much about that one. If you do mess up on that layer, then obviously you are, like, dead, so let's try not to do that. Now this is looking very good for us. Just 1 more minute of surviving. You see, there's still nobody eliminated, so we're still at the pace of getting all 10 people in this lobby a crown. So now it's pretty much guaranteed that we get this crown, okay? We're only 30 seconds away. And you see, we're about to time out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and there we go. Timeout, and you see in the top right, still 0 out of 9 eliminated. And see right here, we didn't get the podium, it was this worker outfit. But we still get the crown, and everyone else in this lobby, every single one of us got this crown. It just shows the same person on the podium for everyone, but you can see, if we go here, we still get the crown. You can't see it because of the costume I'm wearing, but you can see it on the left and the right. We got a crown, and my crown rank went up. And then if we go back, you can see my crown count in the top right also went up. So you can see, that's how you get timeouts in this show. Okay, so now I'm going to try and cover some questions that I assume people might be wondering. Can you get banned for this? The answer is no. It is impossible to get banned for this. It is a feature in the game. It is not a bug. After 5 minutes, it is intended that you win the crown. If Mediatonic didn't like it, then they would change the show by either not releasing at all, either removing the ability to timeout, or reducing the amount of tiles, since there is a variation of hexagon with less tiles, but they purposefully have the larger hex in this show, so you don't have anything to worry about. How do you know how close you are to a timeout? Now, this is something that the game doesn't tell you. However, what you can do is, as the final is about to start, you can start a 5-minute timer either on your phone, on a website, or wherever you can get a 5-minute timer from. Start that as the final begins, and then once that timer reaches 0, you should be timing out. How long can you do this for? The show is currently available for 3 days, 17 hours longer. However, the show has been in the game multiple times before and will also return in future. So if you don't get it this time around, don't worry, it will be back again. But make the most of it while it's here, because it might take multiple months for it to come back. That's usually how long it takes. So those are all the questions I can think of, but if you have anything else, let me know in the comments below, and I will be prepared to answer all of them. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say in this video. Thank you for watching. Please take the few seconds to subscribe to the channel, because over 91% of people who watch these videos aren't subscribed, so if you literally just take 2 seconds, it really does help out a lot. And let's see if we can reduce that percentage to be as low as possible. Also, while you're at it, leave a like on the video, because that does the same thing, it helps a lot. That's definitely all I have to say now. So, bye.